State Games. SGCR 1.00 Authority. SGCR 1.01 The State Games Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. SGCR 2.00 Responsibility. SGCR 2.01 The State Games Committee shall A. Encourage and promote the participation of figure skating in the individual state games programs and in those state games supported and recognized by the United States Olympic Committee. B. Assist in the selection of judges for the state games with the chairs of the various state games committees making recommendations to the appropriate regional vice chairs of the competitions committee. C. Encourage and promote recognition of U.S. figure skating as the sanctioning body for figure skating in the United States, with state games organizers, the National Congress of State Games and other bodies. D. Provide direction and support regarding specific criteria relating to figure skating to state games organizers to assist in their recognition of sanctioning and other related rules, including eligibility requirements. E. Monitor and supervise those activities detailed in SGCR 2.01, D, through individual state liaisons appointed from the committee by the chair. F. Develop and implement plans and procedures to refine participation requirements for state games to encourage further involvement of figure skating. G. Work in conjunction with the United States Olympic Committee staff liaison for state games in support of the USAC policies. SGCR 3.00 General. SGCR 3.01 Eligible state games are defined as those games recognized as state games by the U.S. Olympic Committee and whose host state games organization is a member in good standing with the National Congress of State Games. SGCR 3.02 State Games figure skating competitions not abiding by the State Games Committee rules will not be sanctioned by U.S. figure skating as a legitimate state games competition but, if qualified, may be sanctioned as a non-qualifying competition. SGCR 3.03 All U.S. figure skating competition rules apply to state games competitions except as specifically and otherwise stated in the state games rules, SGCR 1.00 through 8.00, or as may be specifically exempted or excluded in U.S. figure skating competition rules. SGCR 4.00 Sanctions. SGCR 4.01 All recognized state games require a sanction application to be filed by a U.S. figure skating to the designated State Games Sectional Vice Chair at least 60 days prior to the competition, accompanied by the corresponding announcement for the competition. If the state games requesting the sanction is receiving financial aid from U.S. figure skating pursuant to Rule SGCR 8.02, the sanction application must also include an agreement entered into between a U.S. figure skating host club and the respective state games organization as well as a list of U.S. figure skating officials participating. The sectional vice chair may reject any application for any good and sufficient reason. SGCR 4.02 State games competitions occurring in states not recognized by the National Congress of State Games will not be recognized by U.S. figure skating as a state games competition. Such non-recognized state games competitions must request a sanction as a standard non-qualifying competition, club competition or special competition as described in Rules 3000, 3200 or 3301. A current list of state games recognized by the National Congress of State Games shall be maintained and available from the National Chair, the Sectional Vice Chair or Sanction Officer of the State Games Committee. The list will be updated following the annual fall meeting of the National Congress of State Games. SGCR 5.00 Officials. SGCR 5.01 Officials for all events of the competition must be qualified U.S. figure skating officials chosen from U.S. figure skating official lists, except that Compete USA events may be judged by any qualified eligible or ineligible person who is a U.S. figure skating member and or Learn to Skate USA member and is 16 years of age or older. SGCR 6.00 Eligibility to compete. SGCR 6.01 State Games competitions are open to any skater who is a resident of the state hosting the games, a resident of a neighboring state, if the neighboring state is a member of the National Congress of State Games and there is an agreement between both states that allows it, or a resident of a neighboring state that is not a member of the National Congress of State Games if the host state allows it. The skater may be affiliated or unaffiliated with an organization such as U.S. Figure Skating or IC. However, skaters affiliated with U.S. Figure Skating must be eligible to compete according to U.S. Figure Skating eligibility rules. SGCR 6.02 If a skater's residency changes during the calendar year, the skater may participate in the state games competition of the new state of residency, if eligible in all other respects, provided they have not participated in a state games of another state during the same calendar year. Synchronized teams are an exception, see SGCR 6.03. Each state may have the option of expanding its eligibility requirements. SGCR 6.03 Skaters may participate as a member of a synchronized team in a state other than their resident state if 50% or more of the team is comprised of residents of the state hosting the competition. Skaters participating on such a team must limit their state games synchronized team participation to a single state games competition in any given calendar year and may not participate in any non-synchronized skating events, for example solo events, at the state games in which they are non-resident. The skater may, however, compete as a member of a synchronized team in the non-resident state and also in solo events in the skater's resident state in the same calendar year. SGCR 6.04 An eligible person in skating who is not a member of U.S. Figure Skating may enter the figure skating events of state games, which are recognized by the USAC and sanctioned by U.S. Figure Skating, if otherwise eligible to do so. Entrants in figure skating events of state games are not subject to Rule 3045. If only one competitor is entered in an event, the event may be held. SGCR 7.00 Conduct of competitions. SGCR 7.01 Specific rules for individual state games figure skating competitions will be designed cooperatively by the State Games Committee Chair and respective sectional Vice Chair, the club hosting the competition and the State Games Organization in the respective state. SGCR 7.02 The proposed competition announcement must be reviewed by the sectional Vice Chair of State Games and the Chief Referee of the competition prior to publication. The announcement must be consistent with Rule 3020. SGCR 8.00 Expenses and Reports. SGCR 8.01 The expenses of any state games competition such as advertising, program, prizes, expenses of judges, referees and accountants and all other expenses shall be met by the state hosting the competition in accordance with the agreement entered into between the host club and the respective state games organization. SGCR 8.02 U.S. Figure Skating Financial assistance may be provided to state games competitions to help defray officials' expenses on a case-by-case basis. Assistance will be at the discretion of the U.S. Figure Skating National Chair of State Games. No financial assistance will be provided prior to the timely submission of a complete financial statement detailing the income and expenses for the event. SGCR 8.03 Within 50 days of the last day of competition, a summary report of the competition and, if U.S. Figure Skating financial assistance was provided, a financial statement must be filed with the National Chair of State Games, the appropriate Sectional Vice Chair of State Games and U.S. Figure Skating Headquarters. Failure to submit final reports and financial statements may result in the denial of a sanction the following year and any agreed-upon assistance from the U.S. Figure Skating State Games budget. Strategic planning. Note, the changes underlined below are effective May 2019. SPCR 1.00 Authority. SPCR 1.01 The Strategic Planning Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. SPCR 2.00 Organization. SGCR 2.01 The Strategic Planning Committee will be organized per Article 18, Section 2(e) of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. SGCR 3.00 Responsibility. SGCR 3.01 The Strategic Planning Committee will develop a strategic plan to provide focus and direction to the organization. The development of the strategic plan will follow current industry best practices. SGCR 3.02 The Strategic Planning Committee will oversee the strategic planning timeline and process with consideration of the financial and governance timeline of the organization. A. The strategic planning process will include gathering both outside information and input from stakeholders throughout the skating community. B. The strategic planning process will include communication of the plan throughout the organization. SGCR 3.03 The strategic plan will be revised and updated every 4 years, with reviews and amendments annually. A. Any revisions, updates or amendments will be submitted for approval and/or adoption by the Board of Directors. B. Strategic plans and amendments submitted to the Board of Directors will include consideration of resources necessary. Synchronized skating. SGCR 1.00 Authority. SGCR 1.01 The Synchronized Skating Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. SGCR 1.50 Responsibility. SGCR 1.51 The Synchronized Skating Committee is responsible for A. The composition, conduct and manner of performance of all synchronized skating events. B. The marks and judging standards for synchronized skating. See all matters relating to synchronized skating in competitions not otherwise delegated to the Competitions Committee. SGCR 2.00 Organization. SGCR 2.01 The Synchronized Skating Committee shall consist of the chair, a vice chair for each section and such other committee members as are appointed in accordance with Article 18 of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. SGCR 2.02 The members of the committee shall be divided according to the section in which each resides and shall report to the chair or sectional vice chair as directed by the chair. SGCR 2.03 In order to facilitate collaboration and cooperation between the synchronized skating competitions and judges committees in matters of mutual interest to them, the chairs of the competitions and judges committees shall be ex officio members of the Synchronized Skating Committee. In turn, the chair of the Synchronized Skating Committee shall be an ex officio member of the Competitions and Judges Committees. A. The National Vice Chair for Synchronized Development on the Athlete Development Committee will be an ex officio member. SGCR 3.00 Functions of Committee Members. SGCR 3.01 The sectional vice chairs shall be responsible for the work of the committee within their respective sections, as well as the performance of such other duties or functions that may be specifically assigned to them by these rules or as may be delegated to them from time to time by the chair. SGCR 3.02 In order to facilitate the work of the committee, it is the duty of each committee member to participate fully in the policy determinations of the committee as a whole, by discussion, contact with synchronized skaters, correspondence and voting. Technical Panel. TPCR 1.00 Authority. TPCR 1.01 The Technical Panel Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. TPCR 2.00 Organization. TPCR 2.01 The Technical Panel Committee will consist of a chair and vice chairs as outlined below, plus additional members as necessary to conduct the business of the committee. A. A sectional vice chair from each section. B. A vice chair to oversee synchronized skating. C. A national vice chair of technical panel rules. 1. Reporting to the national vice chair are vice chairs for each discipline, singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating. D. A national vice chair of technical panel education. 1. The National Vice Chair of Technical Panel Education will be responsible for the development of educational standards and promotional exam standards for technical panel seminars. 2. Reporting to the national vice chair are 5 or 6 vice chairs, 1 for each discipline, singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating, and 1 or 2 for data operators, for singles/pairs/dance and synchronized skating. TPCR 3.00 Responsibility. TPCR 3.01 It shall be the responsibility of the Technical Panel Committee to A. Establish minimum standards and qualifications to serve as a technical panel official, technical specialists, assistant technical specialists, technical controllers, data operators, video replay operators, for sanctioned competitions in all skating disciplines conducted by U.S. figure skating under the International Judging System, IJS. B. Establish and administer conflict of interest regulations governing service of technical panel officials in sanctioned competition events conducted by U.S. figure skating under the IJS. C. Develop training and certification procedures to prepare and test prospective technical panel officials and to promote certified technical panel officials. D. Conduct training seminars with top faculty from the highest levels of certification in the disciplines being trained. E. Distribute information on applicable ISU and U.S. figure skating rule changes and clarifications to certified technical panel officials. F. Submit to the Selections Committee, for approval, the proposed list of technical officials for the U.S. figure skating championships. Submit to the Competitions Committee the names of the technical officials recommended for assignment to the regional and sectional championships. G. In accordance with the schedule of events prepared by the chief referee of each competition, prepare the recommended technical panel assignments for all events at the qualifying competitions and submit the recommended assignments to the chief referees of these competitions. Work together with the chief referee to address any concerns the chief referee may have with respect to the assignments. TPCR 3.02 Individuals nominated by U.S. figure skating in accordance with IJOC 3.04 and certified by the ISUS Technical Panel officials may be certified as National Technical Panel officials of U.S. figure skating. TPCR 4.00 Eligibility and qualifications. Technical panel officials of U.S. figure skating must be current members to serve in any capacity at a U.S. figure skating sanctioned event. If technical panel officials do not renew their membership by March 1 of the following year, they will be deemed to have resigned their appointment as a technical panel official, and their name will be removed the list of officials. TPCR 4.01 Technical Controller Qualifications. A national singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical controller must be a U.S. figure skating judge or referee of the rank of national or above, ISU or international, in the discipline in which they serve as a technical controller. B. Sectional singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical controller must be a U.S. figure skating judge or referee of the rank of sectional or above in the discipline in which they serve as a technical controller. C. Regional singles technical controller must be a U.S. figure skating judge of the rank of regional competition or above in the discipline in which they serve as a technical controller. D. Non-qualifying singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical controller must be a U.S. figure skating judge of the rank of regional competition level or above in the discipline in which the judge serves as technical controller. E. Must be at least 21 years of age. F. If serving in a qualifying competition. 1. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year if serving in a singles event. 2. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year if serving in a pairs or I-stance event, except in extraordinary circumstances and subject to the approval of the Technical Panel Committee Chair, the Competitions Committee Chair, and the Technical Group Coordinator. 3. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year from the level in which the controller is serving, if serving in a synchronized skating event. 4. Active adult competitors who are certified by the Technical Panel Committee may serve in qualifying competitions that are not adult competitions. G. Must have the highest technical knowledge of the skating discipline in which they serve as technical controller. H. Must be trained and certified to act as a technical controller by the ISU or by the Technical Panel Committee of U.S. Figure Skating. I must be able to take directions and work well in a team environment. J must be free from conflicts of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest in the event in which they function as a technical controller. K must adhere to the ethics and conflict of interest policies established by the Technical Panel Committee in order to serve in any event. TPCR 4.02 Technical Specialist and Assistant Technical Specialist Qualifications. A national singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical specialist must be an individual identified as possessing the qualifications listed in TPCR 4.02, b, promoted in accordance with the procedures established by the Technical Panel Committee. B. Sectional singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical specialist must be either 1. A former senior or junior competitor in the discipline in which they serve as a technical specialist at one of the following competitions. A. U.S. Figure Skating Championships, singles, pairs, dance. B. U.S. Synchronized Skating Championships, synchronized skating. C. An equivalent championship conducted by an ISU member. 2. The coaches responsible for 50% or more of 3 such competitors training described in TPCR 4.02, B1. 3. A national level competition judge in the discipline in which they serve. 4. An individual identified as possessing the qualifications listed in TPCR 4.02, C, promoted in accordance with the procedures established by the Technical Panel Committee. C. Regional singles technical specialist must be either 1. A former senior or junior competitor at a sectional championship in the discipline in which they serve. 2. The coaches responsible for 50% or more of 3 such competitors training described in TPCR 4.02, C1. 3. A sectional level competition judge in the discipline in which they serve. 4. An individual identified as possessing the qualifications listed in TPCR 4.02, D, promoted in accordance with the procedures established by the Technical Panel Committee. D. Non-qualifying singles, pairs, dance and synchronized skating technical specialist must be either 1. A former senior or junior competitor at a sectional championship in the discipline in which they serve or, for singles only, a former senior competitor at a regional championship in a singles event. 2. The coaches responsible for 50% or more of 3 such competitors training described in TPCR 4.02, D1. 3. A sectional level competition judge in the discipline in which they serve. E. Must be at least 21 years of age. F. If serving in a qualifying competition. 1. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year if serving in a singles event. 2. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year if serving in a pairs or I-stance event, except in extraordinary circumstances and subject to the approval of the Technical Panel Committee Chair, the Competitions Committee Chair, and the Technical Group Coordinator. 3. Must be retired as an active competitor for at least 1 year from the level in which the specialist is serving, if serving in a synchronized skating event. 4. Active adult competitors who are certified by the Technical Panel Committee may serve in qualifying competitions that are not adult competitions. G. Must have the highest technical knowledge of the skating discipline in which they serve as a technical specialist. H. Must be trained and certified to act as a technical specialist by the ISU or by the Technical Panel Committee of U.S. Figure Skating. I must be able to take directions and work well in a team environment. J. Must be free from conflicts of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest in the event in which they function as a technical specialist. K. Must adhere to the ethics and conflict of interest policies established by the Technical Panel Committee in order to serve in any event. TPCR 4.03 Data Operator Qualifications. A. Must have the highest technical knowledge of the skating discipline in which they serve as a data operator. B. Must be at least 21 years of age. C. Must be retired as an active competitor if serving in a qualifying event. Active adult competitors, who are certified by the Technical Panel Committee, may serve in qualifying competitions that are not adult competitions. D. Must have good computer skills and be familiar with the data entries corresponding to the called elements. E. Must be trained and certified to act as a data operator by the ISU or by the Technical Panel Committee of U.S. Figure Skating. F. Must be able to take directions and work well in a team environment. G. Must be free from conflicts of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest in the event in which they function as a data operator. H. Must adhere to the ethics and conflict of interest policies established by the Technical Panel Committee in order to serve in any event. TPCR 4.04 Video Replay Operator, for events using video replay, qualifications. A. Must have a high degree of technical knowledge of the skating discipline in which serving as video replay operator. B. Must be at least 21 years of age if serving in a qualifying event, at least 18 years of age for all other events. C. Must be retired as an active competitor if serving in a qualifying event. Active adult competitors, who are certified by the Technical Panel Committee, may serve in qualifying competitions that are not adult competitions. D. Must have good computer skills and be very familiar with the skating elements of the skating discipline in which they serve as a video replay operator. E. Must be trained and certified to act as a technical controller, technical specialist, data operator or video replay operator by the ISU or by the Technical Panel Committee of U.S. Figure Skating if serving in a qualifying event. F. Must be able to take directions and work well in a team environment. G. Must be free from conflicts of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest in the event in which they function as a video replay operator. H. Must adhere to the ethics and conflict of interest policies established by the Technical Panel Committee in order to serve in any event. I. In the event the chief referee determines that there is a need for additional video operators at a non-qualifying competition, a short training session will be conducted on site. The training will be assigned to a certified video operator. Upon successful completion, the candidate will be approved to act as a video operator only at the specified competition. The candidate may apply to the Technical Panel Committee for official certification as a video operator following the competition. TPCR 5.00 Appointment Process. TPCR 5.01 National Technical Specialists, National Technical Controllers and National Data Operators may be appointed by the Board of Directors at any in-person meeting upon presentation of the candidate's name, recommendation and record by the Chair of the Technical Panel Committee. TPCR 5.02 Recommendations for promotion to National Technical Specialists, National Data Operators and National Technical Controllers should include a summary of the candidate's qualifications, that is experience, temperament, competitions attended, U.S. figure skating number, etc. B. Documentation of successful completion of the U.S. figure skating certification process. TPCR 5.03 Applications to test for appointment as a technical specialist, technical controller or data operator should be sent to the person designated under the guidelines for promotion established by the Technical Panel Committee. TPCR 5.04 The Chair will notify the applicant of the decision of the Technical Panel Committee, and that of the Board of Directors relative to national appointments. TPCR 5.05 If the decision constitutes appointment, the date of the notification will be the effective date of the appointment, and notification will be sent to U.S. Figure Skating Headquarters for recording. TPCR 5.10 Requirements for Technical Panel Officials. TPCR 5.11 All technical panel officials must meet minimum education and event requirements as established by the Technical Panel Committee. TPCR 5.12 Technical panel officials unable to meet the requirements of Rule TPCR 5.11 will be deemed to have resigned their appointments as a technical panel official. That official may apply for a waiver of compliance for good and sufficient reasons to the Chair of the Technical Panel Committee or to the appropriate sectional Vice Chair. TPCR 5.13 Any technical panel official whose appointment is resigned for failure to meet the requirements in TPCR 5.11 must Attend and pass a recertification test at a national technical panel seminar or a continuing education school approved by the chair to be reappointed. TPCR 6.00 Inactive Status. TPCR 6.01 Inactive status for a one-year period may be granted by the appropriate sectional vice chair for the technical panel committee upon written request by a technical panel official. Such inactive status may be extended for 1 year, if requested. But inactive status may not exceed 2 years. TPCR 6.02 During the period of inactive status, a technical panel official will remain on file at U.S. Figure Skating Headquarters as an inactive technical panel official and will receive all communications directed to technical panel officials. A technical panel official is not eligible to serve as a technical panel official at competitions while registered with inactive status. TPCR 6.03 Upon written request of an inactive technical panel official for reinstatement to active status, an official must attend and pass a test at a national technical panel seminar or a continuing education school approved by the chair for reinstatement purposes. TPCR 6.04 If an inactive technical panel official does not request reinstatement to active status by the conclusion of the 2-year period, said official will be deemed to have resigned their appointments as a technical panel official and will be removed from the list of technical panel officials accordingly. TPCR 6.10 Retirement or resignation of technical panel officials. TPCR 6.11 Technical panel officials in good standing who have served a minimum of 10 years at any level and who wish to retire voluntarily from all of their appointments will be awarded a certificate as Emeritus Technical Panel Official U.S. Figure Skating. The request for this status must be made in writing to the appropriate sectional vice chair on the technical panel committee. This is honorific only and carries no right to officiate any competition. TPCR 6.12 National technical panel officials desiring to resign some or all of their technical panel appointments must submit a written notice to the chair of the technical panel committee to that effect. The chair will accept the resignation and report such action to the board of directors at its next ensuing in-person meeting. If the official has resigned all appointments, the official's name will be removed from the official list of technical panelists at the meeting unless other action is directed by the board of directors. TPCR 6.13 All other technical panel officials desiring to resign their appointments must submit a written notice to that effect and the reasons for resigning to the appropriate sectional vice chair on the technical panel committee. The vice chair will accept the resignation and notify U.S. Figure Skating Headquarters to remove the official's name from the official list of technical panel officials. TPCR 6.20 Honorary National Technical Panel Officials. TPCR 6.21 Honorary National Technical Panel Officials are appointed by the Board of Directors from among those national singles, national pairs, national dance and national synchronized skating technical specialists and technical controllers, and national singles/pairs/dance and national synchronized skating data operators who resign as per Rule TPCR 6.12. Recommendations for such appointments are made by the chair of the technical panel committee and supported by such information from the appropriate sectional vice chair or national vice chair of synchronized skating as may be deemed necessary by the chair. B. Certificates will be awarded to persons appointed. C. Technical panel officials in the honorary classification are eligible to return to an appropriate active classification per Rule TPCR 6.04 should the reasons for their inactivity cease to exist. TPCR 7.00 Formal complaints against technical panel officials. TPCR 7.01 Subcommittee to hear complaints. A. In the case of complaints against a technical panel official, a subcommittee will be appointed by the chair of the technical panel committee and will consist of 1. The vice president from the officials section. 2. The sectional vice chair of the technical panel committee from the officials section. 3. The vice chair of the technical panel committee in the appropriate discipline. 4. The sectional vice chair of the competitions committee from the officials section. 5. Athlete representatives who are athletes as defined in Article 21, Section 2, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws 2. Comprise at least 20% of the subcommittee, appointed jointly by the chairs of the technical panel and athletes, advisory committees, and 6. Such other members as the chair deems appropriate, not to exceed 10 members. B. Complaints must be made in writing to one of the persons identified in Rule 1506, A. C. Complaints are limited to repeated serious error by a technical panel official, repeated inconsistency and temperament, A. Pattern indicating a lack of mental or physical ability to perform effectively and reliably as a technical panel official, actions unbecoming a technical panel official or ineligibility under other U.S. figure skating rules. D. Complaints must be filed within 60 days of the incident and disposed of no later than 60 days after the meeting of the subcommittee following the complaint. E. Technical panel officials must be given a copy of the complaint and an opportunity to answer, and the opinion of the technical panel officials' sectional vice chair must be heard. TPCR 7.02 After review of the complaint, the subcommittee will vote whether to absolve the technical panel official of the complaint or whether corrective action is necessary. If the majority vote is that corrective action is necessary, the subcommittee will consider whether a program of counseling and retraining will sufficiently address the complaint. The subcommittee will only vote to reprimand, demote, suspend or remove a technical panel official, or, in the case of national-level officials, recommend that the Board of Directors reprimand, demote, suspend or remove an official, where the subcommittee has deemed by majority vote that a program of counseling and retraining is not sufficient corrective action or where counseling and retraining has been identified, but the technical panel official in question has failed to complete the counseling and retraining program in a timely manner. TPCR 7.03 In addition, to the extent the complaint involves an alleged ethical violation, the subcommittee will refer the complaint to the chair of the Ethics Committee for review and determination as to whether a disciplinary proceeding should be initiated per Article 25, Section 1, B, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. TPCR 7.04 Dispositions must be in writing and furnished to the technical panel official, the administrative, legal group coordinator, the chair and appropriate vice chairs of the technical panel committee and U.S. figure skating headquarters. TPCR 7.05 The official may appeal the disposition of the subcommittee, within 10 days of the date of the determination, by filing a grievance using the procedure set forth in Article 25, Section 1A, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws and Rule GCR 3.00. The Grievance Committee Rules, GCR 3.00 through GCR 9.00, will apply to an appeal of the subcommittee's disposition. TPCR 7.06 Confidentiality concerning the subject matter of a complaint and the parties involved must be maintained by all parties and participants until the process is finalized. TPCR 7.07 A technical panel official demoted, suspended or removed in accordance with TPCR 7.00 may apply for reinstatement to their former or to a lower classification through the chair of the technical panel committee only after the expiration of 1 year from the effective date of demotion, suspension or removal. Upon receipt of such application, the chair of the technical panel committee will consult with the subcommittee to determine whether reinstatement is appropriate. Action on the application by the subcommittee will be by majority vote. Upon action by the subcommittee, the chair will so notify the official. Copies of notices will be sent to the administrative, legal group coordinator, the chair and appropriate vice chair of the technical panel committee, the members of the subcommittee and U.S. figure skating headquarters, and, in the event of favorable action by the subcommittee, the date thereof will constitute the effective date of reinstatement. TPCR 7.08 The fact that a technical panel official has voluntarily failed to comply with the minimum requirements set forth in TPCR 6.00 during the specified term will be deemed reason for the sectional vice chair to remove such technical panel official from the official lists of technical panel officials. Tests. TR 1.00 Authority, Organization, and Responsibility. TR 1.01 The Tests Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. TR 1.02 The Tests Committee shall consist of the chair and such other vice chairs and members as necessary to carry out the work of the committee. A. The chair of the Tests Committee shall be an ex officio member of the dance, judges, pairs, singles, and synchronized skating committees, and the chairs of these committees shall be ex officio members of the Tests Committee. TR 1.03 Members of the Tests Committee shall prepare timely answers to all ballots, work with the chair on specific tasks and projects and report to the chair any issues of concern. In addition, vice chairs shall be responsible for the duties and functions assigned to them by the chair. TR 1.04 The Tests Committee is responsible for A. The administration of the test rules. B. The testing procedures and the conduct of all tests. C. The determination of U.S. figure skating test fees to be charged. D. All other matters common to tests not specifically delegated to the dance, pairs, singles, and judges committees. E. The maintenance of test records by U.S. figure skating headquarters and the awarding of test certificates and emblems. F. The review of issues of rule violations that occur as a result of testing and the determination of appropriate action. Theatrical skating. TSCR 1.00 Authority. TSCR 1.01 The Theatrical Skating Committee is a permanent committee pursuant to Article 16, Section 1, of the U.S. Figure Skating Bylaws. TSCR 2.00 Organization. TSCR 2.01 The Theatrical Skating Committee consists of a chair and the following members. A. National Vice Chair of Theater on Ice. B. National Vice Chair of Showcase, Artistic Skating. C. 3 Sectional Vice Chairs, 1 from each section. D. 2 Judge Members. E. 3 Athlete Representatives. F. 2 Coach Representatives. G. Up to 4 additional members. H. Program Development Committee Chair, ex officio member. I. Competitions Committee Chair, ex officio member. J. Judges Committee Chair, ex officio member. TSCR 3.00 Responsibility. TSCR 3.01 The Theatrical Skating Committee is responsible for A. Creating objectives and program options to foster the growth, development and long-term success of artistic skating, theater on ice and showcase, artistic athletes. B. The composition, conduct and manner of performance of all theatrical skating events. C. The marks and judging standards for theatrical skating, and D. All matters related to theatrical skating in competition not otherwise delegated to the Competitions Committee.